Hi everybody, it's Wednesday, July 28th. This is not a protest video, unfortunately, rather an update to let you know what's happening and an explanation to why there hasn't been any protest videos. Most of you probably know that the Church of Scientology is trying to get a temporary restraining order against me. This is a stalking complaint filed by Kim Bellotti, the executive director of the church. And just wanted to read some of it to you so you can have a taste. Brian has been following me to and from my car at work in the evening and waiting for me in the morning. He yells at me and has been videoing me, sometimes wears a mask. He personally harasses me, often at night, as late as 9 p.m. Comes up behind me in the dark. So, that's what I'm up against. Kim is perfectly willing to lie to the police and make up these statements, which looks pretty bad. But don't worry, it gets better. She goes on to say, this is specifically about Tuesday morning when she called the police and initiated this whole stalking complaint, which resulted in these papers being served. She says here, he came up behind me this morning and started yelling at me at my car with no mask on. He told me he can do whatever he wants after I asked him several times to leave me alone, to stop videoing me and stop following me to my car. He makes me very nervous. I have to take a back door in and out of work. He used to work at my work. He was fired in the late 90s and definitely seems like he has a grudge. He has been stalking me for months and is getting more aggressive now. It's frightening that he would get more aggressive. So, pro tip, don't lie to the police, especially when I have video evidence that contradicts all of that. But anyway, that's how it's begun. One last part of the complaint. At the back, the last page, it says, state briefly what you want the court to do. And in her first sentence, I think it sums it up nicely. I want him completely away from where I work, right? Stop protesting. Stop affecting our bottom line. Stop filming me, stalking me, following me to my car. Stop meeting me in the morning at work. Now here's an interesting one. Don't come to my house. That will become important later. Mark my words. So that's what I'm up against, and the hearing on Monday, this past Monday, I was prepared to represent myself in the complaint. Kim says that she's representing herself, so I'm figuring as long as I have a judge with half a head on his shoulders, it shouldn't be that difficult to defend my case and show video evidence if I have to. But then at 10 o'clock on Monday morning, someone drops off a thick packet of information at the front desk for me, and the receptionist gives it to me as I'm on my way out the door. And what it is, it's a care package by none other than top attorney for the cult, Kendrick Moxon. And basically what it is his twisted twist on things. He basically reiterates what Kim has already sworn to in her statements. He says here that oftentimes I wear a chilling vendetta mask, identical to the mask worn by the anarchists in the movie V for Vendetta. And he includes some exhibits. Actually, some are pretty cool. Pictures of me in action. Oh yeah. And a DVD with excerpts of things from my YouTube videos. And interestingly, a brief publication regarding the hate group Anonymous attached as Exhibit C. Here's the brief publication that he's referring to. It's very brief. It's just a few pages to let let the judge know all about Anonymous. If I'm not mistaken, I think it's the same one that was given to Jeff Stone regarding Anonymous. And of course, we all know how that. Well, if you don't know, I should say, it's all about Ordinance 884 and protesting at Golden Era Productions. This is the brief publication that got the ball rolling to basically affect an ordinance that did nothing to stop protesting, but showed that the cult definitely has people in the right places to pass things like this. Anyway, so I get there about 1:30 on Monday, and in walks Moxon around 2:30, and I was pretty surprised. I saw his name on the paperwork. I didn't know he was in town. He was the one that dropped it off in my apartment. Little did I know at the time. So in he walks, and he walks up to the desk, signs in, and he's up there going through his briefcase, up there for at least 5 minutes. And the whole time he has his back to me. I'm sitting in this little waiting room. And then finally he slams down, clamps his briefcase shut, and he turns around and he looks right at me and he says, "You got the papers?" And I look right at him and I go, "I did." And then he walks out, and the room is packed at this point in time. And so he walks out, and they're in the hallway, and I can hear Kim in the hallway talking. And 3 o'clock rolls around, and the judge isn't ready. We actually don't get in there until about 4 o'clock. But at 3, all the people that were there already in the room, they started getting their names called, and they got the paperwork that they were waiting for, and the room soon emptied out. And in walks Moxon, Kim Bellotti, Sylvia Stannard, and Vicki Teresi. And I'm in this room with them for an hour waiting for our case to be called. So I could make a 10-minute video about what was said by them in that room. I didn't say anything, I just sat there and listened. But so anyway, 4 o'clock comes around and the judge calls us in, and it's just the only people allowed before the judge was myself, Kim, and Rick Moxon. And the first thing the judge says to me, he says, "Have you ever been to court before, Mr. Mandigo?" And I said, "No, I have not, Your Honor." And he said, "Well, technically, Mr. Moxon cannot speak with you unless you're representing yourself. Is that what you intend to do?" And I said, "Well, to be honest with you," I said, I did intend to represent myself because according to the complaint, Ms. Bellotti was representing herself. I said it wasn't until a few hours ago that I find out that this additional evidence has been entered in and that Mr. Moxon is now her attorney. And so the judge, who is awesome, unfortunately it's not going to be the judge that I have to see in October for the actual show cause trial regarding this complaint. But in the meantime, for this hearing, this judge does a great job. He goes to great lengths, maybe 15 minutes, explaining the ramifications of representing myself at this particular hearing, seeking legal attorney, legal counsel, whatever. So he explains it all to me, and I'm still pretty confident that I can, stand my ground. So I'm just about ready to say, and in fact, I basically cut the judge off and I say, "Your Honor, I understand," and to answer the $1 million question. And he says to me, "Mr. Mandigo, before you answer the $1 million question, he's like, I'm willing to grant you a few days if you would like to think this over and maybe speak with an attorney to decide what you want to do." And at this point, Moxon starts getting a little squirmy in his seat, and he says, "Oh, Your Honor, I'm from Los Angeles, and I planned on flying out today, and I can't come back this week. And I'm just doing this as a favor for Ms. Bellotti, who's a longtime family friend." And I'm listening to him talk, and I'm thinking, "Okay, Your Honor." I'm like, "Yes, I would definitely like a couple days to think this over." So that was awesome. And so the judge basically says, "All right, let's postpone this for," well, he got with Moxon, they're like looking at their schedules. We decided that August 13th will be a good time to reconvene, which is a Friday. And the judge then asks me, well, us, if we can agree to stay away from each other and not cause any trouble, just allow this calm period to exist between now and the 13th. And I said, that's fine, because I felt the judge was doing me a favor by giving me this bit of breathing room to decide, what I want to do now that I know that Moxon's involved. Moxon was more hesitant, but basically said, "Yeah, well, that's fine, as long as he stays away from my client, stays away from her workplace," and then he says, doesn't go to her house. And that's when I chimed in and I said, it's interesting. I said, I saw that in the complaint. That was part of what you're trying to accomplish, is me not going to her house. And I said, until this paperwork was filed, I never even knew where she lived. So I find it very interesting that you're including that statement that you don't want me going to her house, because I wouldn't have known where she lived had you not filed this. So I think that raised the eyebrow of the judge, and there was an awkward silence for about 2 seconds or so. So, long story short is that it has been the initial hearing, which is basically just for a temporary TRO before the actual hearing in October, and now it's been delayed for almost 2 weeks. So, lots of stuff going on. Obviously, I can't get into it because I don't trust them one bit. I can't give them any heads up at all. Hopefully I didn't do anything in this video that compromises my situation. However, I had to give you guys something because that's how we roll. But anyway, I'm feeling pretty confident. My spirits are fine, no worries there. Yes, it sucks that I can't protest, but I trust I'll be back out there soon. And I'm looking forward to the 13th, and we'll see where it goes from there. But in the meantime, all I can say is thank you so much for all the support. I've got so many emails that I haven't even opened yet that I need to get back. I need to respond to, and I will respond. I've been swamped these last 2 days. I'll answer all of them. So thanks to everybody for all their support, and look forward to getting back out there soon. All right, talk to you later.